the mid-majors thought I was too good to play mid-majors, and the high majors, they thought I wasn't good enough. There is an adaptation that takes place when you move to another country, and then that shit hit the fan. The economy hit the fan. It went from one of the richest to like nothing. Like half of the city just kind of shut down. Out of the 10 checks I was supposed to get, I think I got 5. Maybe 4 or something like that. Shit, my coach that year, they were gonna cut me. He told me. He was like, oh, we looking for another point guard. Told my agent, I'm like, yo, you need to tell me what's happening. Like, don't have no just spring up on me out of nowhere and like, and you knew. And I find out that you knew beforehand, I'm firing you. Like, I was breaking out and shit so much that coaches would take the balls out the gym after practice. I'm like, nah, like, come on, like, let's go get this film in. That was just me because I knew I had to figure out what the edge was. And that was my edge, just being prepared. Like,
what is your legacy? What do you want people to remember you as?
Selfless. Just one that, you know, was for the people, wanted to leave an impact. That's all I really care about when it comes to my name. It's beyond me. If I'm not giving that back to them with the right intention, then I'm not living in the right manner. So, you know, I really try to stand on that. I really try to live by that because I really feel that that's truly who I am to my core. So,
test. Let me hear you. Audio 1 2 1 2 3.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Perfect,
good.
man.
All right, make sure I don't lean. I'm good.
Yes, sir, man. We good, man. How you doing today?
I don't want to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, we good. Nah, I definitely monitor it right here, man. How you doing, though, bro?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Yeah, we got that man Ty in the building. Listen, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce yourself, man. Who you are, where you from, and just a little bit about what you do.
TYRESE Rice. Originally from Salisbury, North Carolina. That's where my family's from. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. Moved to Richmond when I was probably about, I think I was like 9 years old. Pure hooper, man. Just came up through the hoop game. Watched a lot of people, learned from a lot of people, and you know, allowed those experiences to kind of take me into, you know, the new journey. Trusted Legacy, the philanthropy, camps, clinics.
Yeah.
You know, all of those different things. So
Okay. So take us back all the way to the genesis, man, because we kind of talked a little bit off camera about, you know, the grind coming up as young bucks, you know, in this space, basketball. So just kind of talk about that, your earliest memories when you were hooping.
Man, my earliest memories probably go back to when I was like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
My mom was my coach back then.
Okay.
My mom was a coach. My granddad used to come in there and record all the games.
Yeah.
I came from an athletic family. All the women in my family were athletes.
Okay.
So my grandmother was like the supreme athlete of the family.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd she do?
Everything. She played ball. She played tennis. She ran track. She did everything. She had 70 in a game one time.
That's dope, bro.
Like,
What?
My grandmother, she had, you know, my mom and my aunts and uncles. And so she ended up going back to school when she was like maybe like 31 or 32 years old or something like that. And she was so good on the women's team, they put her on the men's team. So she was playing on the men's tennis team and playing on the men's hoops team.
Granny, you better show them, Granny. Stop playing with them.
Yeah, so I just come from a hooping background.
Okay.
I come from a hooping background, and from young, you know, they just always told you, you had to stay true to the game. You had to understand that the ups and downs gonna come, but you also gotta, you know, be you in the game. And, you know, that's all they ever really pushed. Okay,
so talk about like coming up in specifically Richmond and VA. Like talk about that atmosphere.
Man, it was a shock from what I came from in North Carolina. Richmond, it ain't the best place, you know what I'm saying? It's really rich in culture. It's a lot of blue collar, you know, people there, and it's a lot of people there that, you know, that really want to stand for something. They really do stand on things, but, you know, it also get very active out there too. So, coming up, just seeing things, you know, happen and seeing things, being around things, it make you kind of own into something that you really love and appreciate, and that's what the game did for me. It showed me different aspects of the game. That was the first time I saw some of my favorite players up close, was when I got to Richmond.
Okay.
So I was able to find those people to really look up to, and try to follow the footsteps.
Now, how old were you when you first moved to Richmond?
9.
So you was
Like 9,
9.
10.
Okay.
Third
So
grade.
okay. So what was the difference between Richmond and North Carolina? You remember that?
North Carolina, growing up, like my family we was in church all the time.
Okay.
Like my grandfather's a pastor, my uncle's a pastor, and so we grew up in the church just about 2-3 days out the week. So then going to Richmond, it was just me and my mom, and my mom was married, and making that change from that life to what was going on in Richmond was completely different. You know, Richmond, you know, the crime rate is ridiculous. Murders are crazy out there, and the population's so small. But when you you know, add those numbers up per population, per capita, it's like not even close. So it kind of give you an idea of what's going on in the city. But you know, when you live places like that, you know it's bad, but it don't really seem like that. Especially when you you know, when you stay on the right path and you focus in on what you're supposed to be doing.
So you had you had a support system, huh?
Yeah, without
So you
doubt.
had your people pretty much like sheltered you from all that. Is that what you're saying or not?
Nah,
You was in the field with it?
No. My peoples was always the type of people that, you know, you always gonna have a life outside of what's going on in your house. Like it wasn't like, oh, you can't go there because this and that going on. Like nah, like we was all we we did whatever. You know, we did whatever in the moments. But it was up to us to make, well, up to me to make, you know, decisions.
Okay.
And my mom always gave me the rope to go out and do that.
Okay.
Like she never held me back from any of that. She trusted me in my decision making, and you know, and I knew what I wanted as well.
You got siblings?
No, well, I have a younger brother on my
Okay.
dad's side. Yeah.
Okay. So for the most part, your whole life you was
I was by myself. Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you go about like making friends and stuff?
It was different. It was different. More so because, you know, you kind of like the outsider. Like you the outsider coming in, so you just trying to, you know, see what's going on. You a little bit culture shock here or there, just different. You used to being around your cousins. I'm used to being with my cousins and all of them all the time.
Okay.
So then going to Richmond, kind of like building that out. Honestly, it wasn't too difficult though.
Okay.
It wasn't too difficult. My core friends that I had from 9 to 10 years old, I still my core friends now.
Okay.
Like it's probably about 7 of us, and we still, you know, they come here. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. So it ain't.
Okay.
So I was lucky in that aspect.
Okay. So talk about, so you were 9 years old. Let's kind of segue into the junior high school ages right there. Can you take us back? Do you remember anything from those times? Just kind of like paint that picture for us back in those times.
Trying to figure it out. You know, trying to fit in, trying to see, you know, typical teenage stuff. You trying to figure out, you know, who you gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, not only, you know, in the world, but to your peers, like, which is the most important thing at that time.
Okay.
Is being, you know, cool and being somebody that, you know, people wanted to be around and people like. And so trying to figure that out, you know, trying to navigating uncomfortable spaces, fears and all that. So it was a lot of that coming up. And just on the hoop side, I got cut when I was in middle school, in the 6th grade. It was kind of crazy, but you know, it was what it was. And so I left my 7th grade and I played, and I went back to North Carolina for 7th grade.
Okay.
We played there. That was like the coming out for me. Like that was the first time where it was like, hey, here go your ball. Whatever you gonna do, you just go ahead and do it. And it was like, oh, okay. And so then you know, I started to build from there. And then came back to Richmond, 8th grade. We won championship and all that.
Okay.
And you know, it was time after that.
Now high school, talk about that. Ooh, like I really want us to like really delve into this one. I talk to my clients about this. Y'all thinking that everything is sweet right now and it's junior high. Y'all ain't seen nothing till you go to the big leagues, high school, okay?
Yeah.
That game gets faster, more physical. So talk about
Yeah.
your transition from junior high to high school now.
Yeah. Quite honestly, I had already put myself in the fire of like high school hoops and
Okay.
playing with college guys and stuff like that. I was doing that in like the 8th grade
Okay.
and like the 7th, 8th grade. So
You was ahead of the game.
yeah, like I knew what it was going. I knew what it was, but
Okay.
my freshman year, my high school coach, man, the recipes, my high school coach, Randy Cave, made one of the greatest people on earth, especially for me, just period to the game. He threw me in that fire right away. He started me as a freshman on varsity. Actually, two freshmen. We started 2 freshmen. He put us out there and gave us the ball. You know, it was like, here, yo, like we got seniors on the team. People complaining, like even old players coming back, like, yo, how y'all letting,
Yeah.
you know, you letting this young dude come out here and shoot shots like this and do that in the third, and he taking a lot of backlash for this, but like midway through the year, it just started clicking. I think I ended up averaging like 17 or 18 as a freshman.
That's
My freshman year, but you know, you still had those moments. Like I can still remember like moments in games. I had a couple game winners that year, like plays that he drew up for me, and it's like, oh, you gonna draw this play up for me out here? Like,
bro, when it's meant, like, it's meant, dog.
Nah, he really he probably believed more than I did, you know, at that time. Like he believed more than I did, and I can only appreciate him for pushing me out there and allowing me to just, hey, I know you can figure this out, so go and figure it out. Even if I didn't believe I could figure it out.
Man, talk about them practices. I know them guys was coming at you, bro. I already know.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't ever scared. Like I wasn't like when it came to start playing, I wasn't afraid. Like you couldn't scare me on the basketball court.
Yeah.
It just kind of was what it was. Like I was like 5'7", 5'8", like 145, 150 pounds. I'm like, hey, bro, really, you just gonna have to show me. Like it was that's just how he was. Like it wasn't no you know, and that was no arrogance. That wasn't me like coming in there thinking that I was, you know, better than anybody, because I never carried it like that. Even you know, as a pro, like that's not me. But you gonna have to show me, like you. And I don't mean one time. Like you gonna have to show me a few times. Like you gonna have to basically let me know that, hey, little bro, it ain't for you yet.
Yeah.
But once I had that moment, which I know I believe in what I'm doing, especially at that time, I'm like, I know I'm gonna have a moment where it's gonna be like, hold on, this little, like, hold on, like we gonna have to, like, actually he all right, you know, type of thing. But you know, and I never was afraid. Like I wasn't afraid. Like nothing ever would stop me from trying, you know, anything. So I just think that's what helped me, you know, through those tough moments, you know, just all those little moments, especially young.
Okay. So AAU, who'd you play for?
Team Richmond.
Okay.
Played Richmond Metro, and then they switched over to Team Richmond.
Who'd you play for? People that we would probably know today.
On my AAU team that you would probably know, nobody.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, like
we had some guys that went to, like, our 2-guard, 2-3 man. He played at University of Richmond.
Okay.
Our other wing, he played at UNC Asheville. We had one guy, he ended up playing football. He ended up going to Florida State, and then I forgot where. He actually went to Florida State. Then he went to South Carolina. Then he went to TSU actually. And played football. He ended up finishing at TSU.
Okay.
But we had athletes though. We had one guy that was getting ready to go and play for the Navy, and he got in a really bad accident, you know, and paralyzed him. And so we had some guys, but it was more, if you was from Virginia or the area, you would know. We played against all the guys, KD and Ty
I was just
Lawson
about to say that's the Midwest. Like, talk about that, because I know, you know, KD and them was out there. Have you ever played?
Nah, that's the East. That ain't the Midwest.
That's the East.
Hell yeah, that's the.
What's
it's
the
like
mid?
Central. It's like Central Midwest is like Chicago.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
my bad,
St.
my
Louis.
bad, my bad.
Like
okay,
that's the Midwest.
That's my bad.
Yeah,
y'all.
we damn sure it's the Midwest.
The Midwest. So what? Hold on. Before we. So the Midwest is what you got.
Chicago.
What else?
The Indiana, Illinois.
Okay,
Ohio,
my bad.
Yeah,
I
that's the
need
Midwest.
some geographic
Missouri.
lessons, y'all. Anyway, peace family. Hey, listen, real quick announcement. I know you see this merch right now. Stop playing. Let's get into it. I know you see this merch. Stop playing with us. Cold Game Combos. We just came out with our first official drop. We got black, white, gray. We got like an ashy gray, dark gray. We have tan. Man, we got all colors, man. If you want to support the brand, hit the link below. We got smalls all the way to 2X. Once again, if you rocking with the brand, you rocking with the podcast, if you rocking with our movement, go ahead and support, man. Tap in, get you some merch, man. All right, back to the episode. Anyway, okay, so now let's go to college now. Okay, so talk about your recruitment process.
My recruitment process was interesting, to say the least, honestly. They used to call me a tweener. All the coaches would call me a tweener. And not like tweener by position, not like, oh, he's a 1, maybe 2, or 2, maybe 1. Tweener by like level. Like the mid majors thought I was too good to play mid majors, and the high majors, they thought I wasn't good enough. So I had an offer I had one from Arizona, but then I would have like East Tennessee State, and then I would have like the BC offer, obviously, but then it'll be like Ohio University. Like it was no in between. It was either a high major school or like a full blown like mid major school. It was no in betweens. That was also due to me not being eligible for a good amount of time as well. I could not score the SAT to match my GPA, and so I had to take different classes and all types of stuff to get my GPA up and all that. Like I had to do a bunch of stuff. So but that process was a very interesting one. Because I was at all the camps. I went to Nike. I played against everybody. Like I left out of there one of the top 5 point guards at each camp, any camp I ever went to. But they used to call me.
Anybody that you gave them that business to, anybody. Okay, so for the people out there, anybody that they would know that you murked them. You want to call no name?
I don't think. I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this. I want to figure out how I want to say this because I ain't gonna say nobody's name. I ain't saying nobody's name on this, but they know. Niggas know exactly who that got what. I was all-time leading scorer in Virginia history until Mac McClung broke it a few years ago. I scored 2,000 points in college too, so.
Yeah, everybody got it. Dog. Okay.
Somebody got something.
Yeah. Okay, so talk about, I want to know, what was that thing that you needed to overcome, like from high school to now college? Was there anything in your game where you really had to like hone in on? Like, what was that battle? Did you have any?
I think then is when the speed and physicality started to become a thing in the decision making. The decision making aspect was probably the toughest transition that I had because I came from freedom.
Yeah.
I came from like,
I know.
Like I didn't abuse it, but I could do whatever. Like I could shoot 23s in a game and the coach wouldn't say nothing. Like he wouldn't even, but he didn't even care about stuff like that because we played right and we moved the ball and like we played like teams play now. In 2002, we shot 35, 43s a game. We ran up and down the court. Whoever had the mismatch, that's who we played against.
Fast paced.
Like we played like that back then. We had no plays. We had one play and it was isolation. It was a 4-low. Like so it was like like 5 people on the court shooting threes, so just learning the discipline and playing in the system, having to figure out a system was and make decisions in that was the toughest by far.
Okay. Was there anything that you can look back in your career that's been like, damn, like I really made it through that? Did you have to come through or overcome through any injuries or anything like that you had to like?
No, I was lucky to get through pretty much injury free throughout my
What's
career.
up, man?
Very lucky.
That is what's up.
Yeah, no, especially with the style of play and and stuff like that. Like very up tempo, a lot of contact. Like it's easy to get hurt, doing that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get hurt without the contact, so sometimes, it's just like that. But I think one situation that I can think of off the top of my head is probably just going through the Europe, actually not even one situation, going through the Europe grind.
We definitely gonna talk about that. Yeah.
Going through the Europe grind just in its totality and really having to understand more than just basketball. Like that was very difficult. That's always been very difficult for me. It's still kind of difficult for me now.
Okay.
Because I think it's about hoop. Like
Yeah.
all of this other stuff. Like, all right, cool. Yeah, that's cool. But what we doing? On the basketball court, like what we doing? Like I don't really
Right.
care if he like or she like this, that, and the third. Like that don't really mean nothing to me. I don't care if this person like to go out. I don't care if they like to do this.
Yeah.
What we doing when we come in
You
here?
handling business.
That's
I already know.
that's it. Yeah, like come
Okay.
in here and get to work. You're not detrimental to the team. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything illegal. Obviously, stuff like that. But so just kind of adapting to the differences in the coaches
Okay.
over there.
What was the difference in the coaches though? Because I know you said your first coach, he pretty
I
much
said
gave you
cultures.
the cultures. Okay.
Yeah, coaches,
Okay.
but coaches
My bad.
as well.
Okay.
Same. I mean,
Okay.
same. They go hand in hand.
Okay. Take us. Okay, so we're still in the college. Right? We're gonna get to the Europe. That's gonna be the next segment. So, in college, can you talk about different things that, like stories? Any stories that y'all that you went through with your peers back then? Any funny stories that you remember in college, on or off the court?
I got so many stories off the court. Off the court stories are probably some of the funniest ones.
Yeah.
I give you one on-court story though that was it kind of stuck with me for a minute.
Yeah.
We were playing NC State at home. This was my freshman year.
Okay.
This was my freshman year. We playing NC State at home. They come in and they drag us. I'm talking like we was good. Like we was good. We was top 10 in the country my freshman year. Like we had a squad. Like they came in there and drug us through the mud. I'm talking like hitting threes from all over the place. They was talking crazy. Like it was just it was one of them. It was like, damn, they really came in here and beat on us like this. Type of game. And so after the game, I guess they had said some things in the press or whatever. We had we had a meeting with Coach Skinner. I think it was probably the next day. It was the next morning. It had to be the next morning for sure because I know how he was boiling. Ain't no way. And it wasn't longer. Next morning, they come into the meeting. We all sitting there waiting. He walks in. He's got like a paper in his hand, whatever. But he ain't saying nothing. He just like pacing back and forth. So mind you, Coach Skinner is very, very chill, very cool. Players coach, treat you like a pro. Yeah. Like he ain't doing no bunch of yelling. He ain't calling your phone. Yeah. It's like, yo, this the schedule. Y'all take care of y'all business. I'm gonna see y'all at practice.
Wow, that's love.
And that's just how we ain't do nothing before 10 o'clock. Like we was pros. Like we got treated.
What?
Bro, we got treated like pros. We got like they treated us like pros. No lie.
Okay.
Lie. So we was responsible because he like, yo, if you want to do it, like I'm gonna give you the blueprint, but it's up to you to be who you want to be. Like I don't have the time. I got kids. You know what I'm saying? Like he like I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Like come on, like we here now. It's time to start growing up, type of thing.
Gotcha.
So you take responsibility. So anyway, he was like that. Like that's how he is.
Gotcha.
Never yell like that. If he yell, he's extremely mad. Like he the kind of just be like, hey, just get on the line. Ain't gonna yell at you. Just go ahead, bro. Just get on the line. Let's keep it moving. All right, y'all good? Cool. Come on, let's hoop. So some dudes get into it. They want to fight. Okay, hold on, bro. Y'all go ahead. Y'all straight? Okay, cool. Let's hoop.
Man.
That's him. Like, yo, y'all go in the locker room. Y'all know the coaches don't come in the locker room.
Yeah.
Y'all do whatever y'all want to do in there. That's what type of time he was on. So, he came in there and he's walking back and forth and he's looking at the paper. He just looking around and you can tell that he like steaming. Like his hands is shaking. Like he tight. Like, and I'm like, dog, like I'm sitting looking like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what's up with Skinner, dog? Like he just went off. Don't you ever let a motherfucker talk about you like this. You can't let a motherfucker talk about you like this. This shit hurt my soul. Like tears coming down his. I'm like, oh, this shit for real. I'm like, oh, this is for real. Like, obviously, you know, you got a passion for the game and you love it and you appreciate it. But when you see your coach or a peer or a teammate, so anybody else that's in it with you and they feel like that and it don't do nothing for you, you in the wrong place. You know, like that. I never forgot that. Like, I would never forget that moment because it was like, damn. Like, bruh, he can't take this more serious than I do. You know what I'm saying? Than I do, and I'm out here doing it. I'm out here trying to do it. You know, I'm out here trying to figure it out. Yeah. And that stuck with me. I'm pretty sure that story. I'm pretty sure everybody on the team at that time could tell that story.
Remember that.
Just like that. Like, just because I'm talking, had the paper slam that joint on the ground, he going crazy. I'm like, and it's a shock because, again, he don't act like that. Like, he don't act like that unless he really, really meant it. And, yeah, like, that joint stuck with me. That stuck with me for a while. Like, it kind of changed my approach and everything.
Yeah. I remember one time my coach got so mad at me. See, I was a little flashy player, right? I'm throwing, like, little no-look passes. He was so textbook. Fake a pass, make a, real to the book.
You done hated me.
I remember coming down. I got a steal coming downhill. One of the fastest girls, she got back. She was, protecting the hole. Girl, man, I came down, boom. I made like a fake pass to one of my teammates behind the back. So I came here behind the back, finished, made the layup now.
Took you on the game.
So this was in practice. We were scrimmaging.
Oh, wow.
He got so heated. He got so freaking heated. He took his little practice itinerary out his pocket, slammed it on the floor. Don't you ever do no and one bullshit like that, like going in on me, man. I'm like, I know this man is not going this crazy on me, bro. I'm out here having fun. When I did it, literally everybody in the gym like, oh, he hated that, bro. Like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. He got so freaking pissed.
Yeah. I got lucky.
That's crazy.
Again, I feel like I got lucky with the coaches, but I only had, two coaches, maybe 3 coaches all the way through college.
Okay.
So 4.
Okay.
So it was just go out there like that.
Yeah.
He would have. First of all, he would have hated our whole team. Like he would have hated our whole team because we was putting. It was a show. This was for the people. Nah, like we was really for the people. It was like I'm talking like lobs off the glass, like niggas pulling from half.
Yeah.
Like, we was for the people.
We was showman.
We was for the people.
Man, we gotta put these
run down
asses
the
in
court.
the seats.
Pointing at the back of their jersey, talking to the crowd, like dribbling the ball down the court, talking to one of your mans.
Nah.
Oh yeah, like they like.
They don't really let us women. They don't let us play with that passion.
They don't let y'all do that.
They don't let us do that.
Man, they don't let y'all do that. And I wonder, it's like why though? Because I believe there's some women in the game. If you would let them really go out there and talk that shit, it'd be fire though. Like it would be fire though.
Bro, I'm like
you
that.
You want to see that, like hoopers. Like I want to see that as a hooper. Yes. I love just to see another hooper just get into their shit and they just click out and it's like,
come on, man, that's what it's about.
You came with me, you know what I'm saying? Like you like,
come on, bro, that's what it's. Yeah, like, I grew up on that damn concrete playing against grown men. That's how I knew how to talk my shit.
Yeah,
they literally talking to me, a little girl now, wasn't giving me no slack at all.
Yeah, Yeah,
So,
ain't gonna give you none. Shouldn't.
Yeah, right.
You out here with us.
Facts. Yeah.
Don't come out here like that's how that's how I looked
That's
at it.
how it was.
I looked at it from even being young, playing with the older dudes. It was like, hey, look, you playing their game. I don't care what you thought was going on with the high school dudes that you played with, back when you were in high school. But now out here,
Right.
you can get your ass in that corner.
And you better not call a foul.
You better knock them. You call foul.
You better not call. They gonna look at you crazy, boy.
A foul.
That's why to this day I don't call no foul.
You better not even if the nigga foul, you better not even act like you was mad. Like what you mean call it?
Right.
Like
nothing.
You even show that you was like, man, come on.
No.
They gonna look at you like what?
Bye, okay.
Man, if you don't get your little ass back down here and play defense.
Listen, I already know you enjoying this episode right now. I wanted to read a quick message out of my book. I feel like somebody needs to hear this right now. As people, we come in contact with so many personalities along our journeys. When you experience these negative Nancys, do not internalize their projections upon you. Go within yourself and remind yourself of your why. Your why will give you the necessary reassurance and inspiration that you need to continue your journey with positivity and light. Go ahead and tap into my book. It's a real easy read. You can literally read it in one sitting. It's a lot of nuggets in this book, man. So I just decided to, go ahead and put it down into a tangible object. Y'all, here's the link right here below. 9 keys to become your best self as a student athlete. The 9 essential keys to perform at your most optimal level, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Tap in. All right, y'all, let's get back to the episode. Peace. So I do.
You really committed, like you really trying to, like, I don't mean, and I'm talking like you serious, like regardless, you serious about, just going through the whole process.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a kid that might not be as good. It's like, dog, you need to be dedicated to the process and being okay with what comes along your journey.
Right.
A lot of dudes, they be trying to seek out the situations, right?
Okay. Excuse me. So let's segue into the Euro now, right? EuroLeague. Talk about all the countries that you played in and just give me some stories overseas, man.
I played in 8 different countries.
Okay.
I'm trying to see my name on Israel, Spain, Greece, Germany, Lithuania, China, Russia, Montenegro.
Toughest league you played in?
Maybe Spain. Probably Spain.
Okay.
Spain usually got the best league. They usually have like the best domestic players.
Okay.
Like they have the best all around domestic players. So their domestic league is probably the best one.
Okay.
Israel is tough though. Israel was tough. Greece. I mean, I think all of them pretty tough, but I would say Spain is probably the toughest.
Okay, take us back to your first year when you first hop off that plane, first time overseas. Walk us through there.
Athens.
Athens.
Yeah,
Greece.
I played in Greece. Yeah,
Okay.
Panionios. Culture shock, man. But at that time, Athens and Barcelona were like the 1A and 1B for tourist attractions.
Okay.
And so it was a lot of different just people there, a lot of cultures there. Like you could find whatever you was looking for. People spoke English. Like it wasn't hard to, adapt.
Okay.
But obviously, there isn't a adaptation that takes place when you move to another country. And then that shit hit the fan. The economy hit the fan. And I'm talking like it went from like one of the richest to like nothing. Like half of the city just kind of shut down. And so obviously that affected the pay of us. And so I'm out there my first year. Out of the 10 checks I was supposed to get, I think I got 5. Maybe 4 or something like that. So going through that my first year, the crib, Wi-Fi, You got a washing machine or dryer. Hey,
Yep. Be hang drying that shit. That should be so
locker
damn
room.
crusty. Why am bro, I'm not trying to hang my shit up outside.
should be so
now
damn
my
crusty.
stuff be
on,
crunchy,
man.
smelling like outside.
Outside.
Go ahead.
Like I just washed my shit and that's all. Like, come on, dog. Like, why you got me doing this? So I mean, you locker room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is
It's like
what it
24-hour fitness joint or something. Maybe worse, actually. Let me be honest, probably actually.
Skinny ass lockers.
Yeah, man, I had a teammate used to be smoking at halftime in the locker room.
That's big over there.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Squares, huh?
Man.
That's big over. I remember I was in Portugal. These folks were smoking squares in the dome.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, my first game.
Stinking.
Yeah. My first game, man.
These folks do all this. Man, come on, bro. They 14, 15 smoking squares. That's the culture over there, man.
Oh, it just is what it is. I remember my first game coming out. Okay, cool. Come out there. Jump ball. They just started throwing tissues and confetti all over the court off the jump ball. You know, it's like a first game ritual type of thing. Okay, cool, whatever.
Okay.
But stop the game for 20 minutes because they got to clean the whole court up because the entire court is filled with tissue and just paper, just filled with shit. Like, so they just like literally just push it like off the court, like off the side of the it's literally like the line right here. The paper and shit still right there.
So y'all walking over it and everything.
Like, so, all right, cool, whatever. Halftime, we come back out halftime. I'm like, man, what the fuck? It's a whole smoke clouds all above the court.
Yep.
I'm like, bro, I can't breathe, bro. I'm like, bro, I can't breathe.
Yep.
Come on, man.
That shit is crazy. So, what's one thing that you really had to adapt to in the pros? From college?
The way the game was played.
Okay.
The FIBA game is different from how we learn the game.
Okay. Talk about that a little bit.
Just even a small detail, you can't open step in Europe. So we've been taught to sweep and get space.
Okay. So you can't.
First step, you can't open.
So what you gotta
do it?
Across
you gotta cross.
Bro.
You gotta cross. They call travel every time immediately. Whoop. Immediately. So like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you gotta change that, and you remind you've been taught this since you've been taught that since you was I don't know, since you could do anything on the basketball court. They teach you that.
So you can't jab.
They also you can jab,
but
you just can't open. You just can't go.
Okay.
You just can't go. I learned a trick on how to do that. Hey, my Europe guys, y'all want me to show y'all how to do the open step without getting called.
Yeah.
Let me know. I be teaching people how to do that shit. That shit it actually worked. It really worked. Like a coach taught me.
Okay.
My first year, my assistant coach taught me how to do it.
Okay.
He was like, it's a way that you can do it, but it's a travel, so you got to be really smooth when you do it.
Okay.
And so he showed me, and I started getting away with it. Like I can show you a bunch of clips, like other coaches be like, "Oh, that's a travel."
Yeah.
But they never called it.
You have to show me that off camera, man.
Yeah.
I need that in the bag, boy.
Yeah. And so like stuff like that, stuff like you catch the ball in transition, boom, I catch the pass, I turn, take a step, dribble. That's a travel. Like you literally gotta either catch it on the bounce or catch it and drop it as soon as you catch it.
Yeah, so yeah.
Like you can't come down 1-2 and then take off running and then dribble.
Yeah.
They a little bit better with it now, though.
Okay.
A little bit better with it now. Like it's a couple rules in there that from the first time I went, it's a little different now. And that's one of them. Like they'll let you catch it and put the ball down now. Some referees will.
Okay.
Play in some of these lower levels, like some of the lower levels that don't have those refs that kind of, they got refs that move up with the, into the higher leagues and stuff like that. They allow certain things to go on. But when you have these the lower level leagues, like those refs, they gonna ref it like by the book.
By the book, man.
They gonna ref it by the book.
I remember when I came over there, when I close out, I'd be like, hey, so whatever. They say, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. Why y'all gotta
They
be
want
so
you to not say nothing in the game.
Nothing.
They want you to just go out there and just be silent. Don't show no emotion. Don't be on here screaming and yelling. Don't say nothing when you hit a shot. Like, don't be all overly aggressive.
Nothing, right? But they can do all this stuff with us. They can hack us, scratch, claw, bite.
Don't
They
have
can
no
do all
choice.
this with
They don't
us.
have no choice. And then they just look at us like, hey.
Make it make sense. Because, see, you know what? They look at us like we are the LeBron James. Like, they call us imports. So they look at the
We are
imports,
imports.
like we are the heart and soul of the team. So if we win, it's on us. And if we lose, it's on us. Going into that second year, what was some different things that arose in your career? Like, just kind of like take us through your whole...
Man, my
over
second
there.
year, my second year was a struggle. In the beginning, just adapting to the new role, a new team, being the young guy on a veteran team, but being the point guard, having to lead, and really have to learn to step into leadership and how that's done and the standard that's set for you. My coach that year, they were gonna cut me. He told me. He was like, "Oh, we looking for another point guard. I'm just letting you know, whatever." But I had always told my agent, I'm like, "Yo, whatever's going on, like, you need to tell me what's happening. Like, don't have no just spring up on me out of nowhere and and you knew
For sure.
like I'm like, 'cause if you knew, and I find out that you knew beforehand, and some shit just happened like that, bro, I'm firing you. Because you don't respect me. I'm like, it's not about what can happen. It's about you just letting me know what's going on, so that I can prepare and figure out what I need to do, on my end to either change the situation or just be ready for whatever may come. And so I was going through that, and then I was struggling with my son not being there. And so I ended up getting, one of my boys to bring my son. Well, I got my aunt to bring my son over, and he stayed. And, so I had a couple of my boys come in and out. They were helping me out. But then, it was a lot of stretches where it was just me and him. So navigating that, and, trying to figure out the hoop shit was a struggle in the beginning. But once I got focused, and once I began to set a routine that I was doing on a daily basis, I was able to do both easily. It went from, them wanting to cut me to 2 months later, they offered me a 2-year extension. Like, it just kind of changed, but it all changed just from the mentality and the understanding, and really reflecting and paying attention to what was going on, what I was doing, what I wasn't doing, what I needed to be doing more of, and really just tapping into, what was needed in the moment, for the team.
You think when your son came, it gave you a sense of, was it more urgency? Like, when your son came, what was it that lit a fire in your heart then?
I mean, he was already born at this time. He was like 3 at the time.
Okay.
4. It might have been 4. Yeah. But the structure is, what helped me.
Okay.
Because now I'm not just taking care of myself and figuring things out for myself. I got to make sure he good. So, just getting up early, making sure that he got food. Is he coming to practice with me or is he not? Like, planning shit out, like planning stuff like that out early. I mean, it was just me and him. So
that's what's up.
I'm bringing him to the games, like all that. He's sitting in the stands
Really?
Yeah, in the game, sitting behind the bench on the steps.
Did you have somebody helping you? It was just you and him.
Just me and him. Okay. I used to sit right there and look at him during the game. You good? Yeah. Sitting right there. People's families and stuff was there. One young guy that I work with now, I played with his dad, and his family helped me tremendously while I was there. So it's like a full circle moment for me to be working with him now.
Yeah.
Which is shout out to the Harstein family, man. They took care of me. They took care of me tremendously. Okay. For sure. It wouldn't have been possible without them.
Okay. When did you find your footing? Like, what team, what country, what year was this when you was like, you know what, I'm here. Can't none of these dudes rock with me?
Quite honestly, I always had to believe in myself. Like, I never, like, it was no, like, one moment that kind of told me that. Like I always truly believed it. I didn't like carry myself in like a demonstrative way where I was like, oh, like I'm gonna show y'all that I'm like big and bad. It was just like, nah, like I know I do the work. Like I know I prep for this. Like so when my emotion would come out, it was because of what I knew I had been doing and preparing for the moments. Like I was literally visualizing moments. Like I was literally really like nah, I can see myself getting MVP of this game. Like I would really like be able to see these things, but the only reason I could see them is because I was really working. Like I was doing shit that I know people weren't doing. Like I was working out and shit so much that coaches would take the balls out the gym after practice. Like I'm like, nah, like come on, like let's go get this film in. Like let's just like that was just me because I knew I had to figure out what the edge was. And that was my edge, just being prepared. Like being ready was my edge. It wasn't that I was so much better than, these different dudes or whatever, but I was prepared. Like I was more ready. Like I knew I was gonna be ready for whatever moment that came my way. I was gonna be ready to step into it. And I think, probably my 4th year in Israel is indicative of that. It was a roller coaster year for the whole team for one, but it was especially one for me. Being in a situation where I had to learn how to adapt. I had to learn how to play a role. I had to learn how to be a star in that role that they were asking me to be, and that changed night in and night out because we had so many guys and the roles changed for them night in and night out. So you had to be that complete player and not be one dimensional, to last with that team because one night it might be you scoring, the next night it might be you scoring, the next night it might be somebody else. Like, oh, but tonight you played D. He rebounded, what I'm saying? He, kept the team in it. Everybody had a role.
Right.
And so I think just keeping myself ready, having those conversations, with my mom and stuff like that, that was helping me out throughout that process. And some of my homeboys and stuff too as well. Like that was probably the one time where it was like, okay, like I can really, like now I know I can do it. Like I've been doing it, but y'all wanted to see this.
Yeah. That's
Here
when
it
it
go.
finally like actualized.
Yeah, it was
4th
just
year.
Yeah, and it wasn't to the end. It wasn't to the end. It was like in the very end. Like I said, I was playing like 28 minutes one game, and then I played like 6 in the next game. But by the end of the year, we won EuroLeague, we won Israeli League, we won the Cup. I got MVP of all of them. Like, but I wasn't even like I probably averaged maybe 19 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? Like people was like, this y'all your best year. I'm like, honestly, this is the worst year I've ever had in my life in basketball.
Light work. What?
Like
What'd you average? Points.
Probably like 8 and 4 or something like that. But I had 26 in the chip game, 20, I think 17 or something in the Final Four game before that.
When it counts.
And 30 in the finals
game. When it counts.
20, it was just the big games. Like literally just being prepared for the moments.
Yeah.
Because first of all, on that team, our leading score only averaged like 13 points or something like that.
Okay.
Like we all was like 13, 12, 11, 8, 8, 8, 8.
But that's good though.
We had a squad.
All of y'all is on the board. It ain't just one
that
person.
Could get 20. We had 5 dudes that can get 20 on any night. So it wasn't no thing. Like you might get going for a quarter and you might have 8 or 9 in a quarter, and then the next quarter I got 9. And then the next quarter the other dude got 10. You know what I'm saying? Like it just so it just kind of was like that, and we didn't mind it.
Bro, what you seem like a very motivated person, a very disciplined person. Where did that come from? Was that instilled in you as a kid? Like, did you develop that over your years? When did that come?
Probably when my son was born, when Sean was born.
Okay.
And I was 18. It was my freshman year in college. When my son was born, and at that point, life just not about you like that no more. Like it's not. Okay. It's not a. It's not just you against the world. You got to figure things out. You got to provide. You responsible for somebody else. So I think that was the moment for me when he was born, and I knew I had to step into something. And I knew that I wanted to be the best father that I could be to him, especially being young and it's like unheard of, and at 18 years old, it's like, oh, you a child. Like, I'm a child.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm saying? I'm just going to school. This is my first time being away from home, and I gotta take somebody with me, and I gotta I gotta figure out, that. So
Sure.
it was yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go into now. Are you still playing overseas currently?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
So that's you done with that?
Yeah, I stopped playing in COVID.
Okay. Okay. So now, kind of bring us abreast of what you're doing now. What type of work are you doing now? Are you still like just give them a little backstory on what you're doing now?
Now I'm just working on building out my business, which is Trusted Legacy.
Okay.
It started as just a lifestyle brand where we began and still get out in the community and do a lot there. Backpack drives, toy drives, giveaways, books. And then we kind of went over into like doing the clinics and camps. And then that kind of led me down a path to, just going and start to study a little bit more. And so I went and got my master's. I got my master's in psychology. Began to just learn more about people and the communities and why we are the way that we are and the things that we come from, the things that we have to overcome. And that just kind of, led me into mindfulness practice. It led me into wanting to, facilitate my own course.
Okay.
It led to me writing children's books.
Okay.
I have a children's book series.
Okay.
It's entitled Trey. So it's 8 books. Well, it will be 8 books. 2 of them out now on Amazon. But it's the 8 places that I played in.
Okay.
Taps into the social emotional learning skills. It gives you all the tourist attractions, how these places are, the different cultures. Every story is from one of my past experiences there. It's a little bit, when I get ready to write the story for the grown people, you'll understand like the stories from the children's book will make more sense.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna build on it, build on that from there. And that kind of just led me to, the leadership and mentorship. So Trusted Legacy, it's just a hub. Eventually I wanted to be a school. So I think we touching all the bases there.
Yeah.
While community work, we're definitely gonna serve. We're still teaching the game. We're trying to build the holistic athlete. We are, providing resources, for anybody that need them, especially ones who are trying to be better and want to be better. Yeah.
Trusted Legacy. Give me the backstory on how you came with that name. How that name came about.
Man, me and my boys just messing around, honestly, just throwing stuff out there, literally just throwing stuff out there. We are all former athletes, and we all did some good things coming up through high school, and we were also good young men, while we was doing it. And so I think that's where the trust, the aspect came from. And like I said, we did a few things, in the school. Like one of my best friends, one of my best friends growing up, he was or he still is one of the, I think, 5 leading rushers in Virginia High School League history. He was a state player of the year and all of that. I was too. We lived across the street from each other, so it was like for us to be, like it was, all be from the same area, be from the same place, kind of doing some special things, and we kind of looked at the legacy part as that, and Trusted Legacy.
Trusted Legacy. Okay. So we're gonna give him a little backstory. I met this man through a mutual friend. His name is Trey. What's good, my guy?
What's up, Trey?
First of all, how do you know Trey?
Through a mutual friend.
Okay.
As well. Yeah.
Man, I met him. Trey was like, "Hey, Jazz, what you doing this weekend?" I'm like, "This is my birthday weekend. What we got going on?" He was like, "Man, I want you to meet my guy. He is a former pro, and he's having a camp, and he needs some help, right?" And so I'm like, "All right, let me see what you got going on." I hit him up, and I can just feel like the energy through the phone. I'm like, oh, this guy is genuine. I can just tell. Like, I'm real big on energy.
Yeah.
So I went to the camp, man. Everything was a vibe. Like, the energy that you possess, I can tell you right now, bro. Like, keep doing that, because I can tell you not doing it for no clout. You ain't doing it for no recognition. You really want to just give back.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, link and build with other like-minded people like that, because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is to pay it forward. You know how many times I done linked up with people who mine just wasn't for the kids? I'm like, man, I can't do it. So I always want to make sure that I'm linking and building with like-minded people, man.
Yeah.
So that's love, man.
I appreciate that.
Man, so just kind of talk about any last words you have for the people. Oh, you know what? Actually, I want you to give that guy out there. He's a aspiring professional basketball player, right? Give him some game. If he don't know the next steps, just say he's in college right now. He's at a D2, right? And he wants to play overseas. Could you give him any words of encouragement for him? Like, what you got for him?
Trust the journey. I would tell him to trust his journey and trust where the path and his real internal feelings take him. And understand that it's not gonna be easy. The adversity is coming at all times. Whatever you do in ball, in life, in relationships, in whatever, the adversity is gonna come. And preparing yourself best you can, understanding yourself the best you can, and putting your best foot forward in every situation, and anything can happen for you.
Yeah,
we see it all the time. Like we see guys overcome situations all the time. We see guys, he came from a D3, then went to a D1, and then now he a $100 million player. We see it all the time.
Yeah,
like it's no different. It can be no different, for you or for someone else who feels like it's not to their advantage. It's always something that you can get, out of the game. And the result may not be that you become this big time pro, but you acquire a certain amount of skills that you're able to apply in another space that you can take with you and that you can use. That's gonna help you. That might be the advantage that you need in another environment. It might not be the advantage for you in basketball,
facts,
but it may be your advantage somewhere else, because these tools don't just stop in a hoop game. Like your will and that willingness to push through and to keep going, and to really sit with those adverse moments. That doesn't just stop in whatever you're doing in that one particular circumstance. That shit applies everywhere. So understanding that part as well, that you might not get exactly what you wanted from it, but you got everything that you needed.
I love that. That. What is your legacy? What do you want people to remember you as?
Selfless, like just one that was for the people. Wanted to leave an impact. That's all I really care about when it comes to my name. I just want people to know who I genuinely am, see what I'm really about, and understand that it's beyond me. Like it's not about me and what I can do or what I can teach or what I can tell. Like, of course I can do all of these things, but if I'm not giving that to anybody else, somebody else, a kid, a grown person, whoever needs it, if I'm not giving that back to them with the right intention, then I'm not living in the right manner. So I really try to stand on that. I really try to live by that, because I really feel that that's truly who I am to my core. So
that's dope, bro.
That's
dope.
what I'm trying to do.
Man, that's dope. But listen, man, it was a pleasure. I appreciate it. Man, I appreciate you pulling up on me, man, blessing the platform.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead and let them know where to find you and plug everything you got going on right now.
Man.
Let's go.
Everything we got going on. First of all, on Instagram, Reese Rice _4 on Instagram. Trusted Legacy's Instagram, trusted.legacy. Go check us out. Click the links. Click the link tree. Everything that you're looking for is there. The website, everything. Also, the book series, Trey and the Great Grease Adventure, Book 1 is out right now on Amazon. Trey in the Streets of Israel, Book 2 is also out now on Amazon. Be on the lookout for Book 3. For Book 3 coming, let's see what, Christmas. I drop Book 3 around Christmas. So that's all I got, man. I appreciate you.
Man, y'all stay tuned, man. We got the camp coming soon. If you know, you know. If you in Houston, hit us up. We're going to put the link right here.
October 9th
tap
and 10th.
in.
October 9th and 10th.
October 10th. Okay?
MI3 Center.
Let's get it. Hey, you are now tuned into another Cold Game Conversation, and I am your host, Jazz Avante. This is episode 23, wrapping up, man. Y'all follow us, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads. Cold Game Convos, we out.